Alright, here we go. One last little random rambling video, probably for the rest of the year, so if you're actually, I don't know if anyone really hates this concept, but if you're looking forward to the next core Mr. Mania Show episode, rest assured, that will be next. It'll be Pikmin. But I figured, I just watched the FNAF 2 movie Sunday night. It's currently Tuesday. I would have filmed this video yesterday, but something came up. I figured I would give my non-spoiler thoughts on the movie, which, I'll be honest, this is probably going to be very hard, because as a FNAF fan, this movie is a 10 out of 10, but, you know, as a regular movie, it's nothing special. I don't want to say it's bad, but we'll get there. Point is, there's so much cool shit in this movie. If you're a FNAF fan and you haven't seen it, go see it. I commend it. It's so freaking good. Let's see. I guess a couple issues I do have that I can talk about. The main villain, I don't even know, honestly, because they show up at near the beginning. They do this big dramatic thing. Hey, it's me. First name. Dramatic pause. First name and last name, and it's supposed to be this big, oh my god, that's them. It's that character, guys. It's supposed to be one of those types of moments. And to be fair, I saw this movie with two friends, one who loves FNAF like me, and the other who doesn't really know much about it, but the FNAF fan friend, me and him both turned and looked at each other and said, oh my god, it's that character! So, I guess mission accomplished. And what else? I guess another negative, the animatronics. I'm not trying to say the animatronics look awful. They look amazing. They were so well put together. It's more so, this movie kind of feels like the Toy Chica show featuring three others. Toy Freddy, Toy Bonnie, and Mangle have not nearly as much a presence as Toy Chica, which is pretty disappointing. You know, they went out of their way to get Matt Pat to voice Toy Bonnie, and I'm pretty sure he only has like 2 or 3 lines in the whole movie, although the voice is weird. It's extremely high pitched. It doesn't sound anything like him. I did see someone on Twitter make a post where they pitched down the voice and it sounds exactly like him, so they probably just pitched up his voice or said, do your normal voice as high as possible. By the way, I just made an official Twitter account at the Mr. Mania Show. Go see my stupid escapades on Twitter. Follow me on YouTube and Twitter. Grow the empire. What else? Toy Freddy. So they got Kelvin Goff to voice him, you know, he's like the Freddy voice at this point, and it was this deep, menacing sounding voice. It was awesome. But my first thought when hearing it is, that's not Toy Freddy. I've seen people be happy about this, and to an extent I get it, because these animatronics are supposed to be these menacing killing machines, but ever since Ultimate Custom Night, where Toy Freddy was the whole, I'm a gamer, I'm a goofball, if I get jump scared, you get jump scared, something like that. I don't know, it was just a little jarring, but again, it sounded really good. It honestly gave me FNAF 1 Freddy vibes from FNAF AR. Does anyone remember FNAF AR, or am I the only one? Do I miss that game? I don't know. Speaking of FNAF AR, though, they actually gave all the toy animatronics their walking sounds from that game, so again, as someone who liked that game, despite the massive amounts of issues with that it had, that made me happy. The kills in this movie are so much more brutal than in the first movie, you know, within reason, because this is a PG-13 movie. They have to make sure all the kids can see it. In the beginning of the movie, I'm genuinely amazed they got away with it. I thought they weren't allowed to do what they did in anything but like a rated R movie. If you've seen it, you probably know what I'm talking about, and maybe you're even sitting there being like, wow, he doesn't know anything about horror movies. That's right, I am a chicken shit. I can't do horror movies. I'm honestly surprised I made it through this one. But, I guess that goes into my next point. Outside of one moment that genuinely scared the shit out of me, there wasn't really much horror. One of the other deaths I enjoyed, though, like in terms of just how brutal and shocking it was, I don't want to spoil it, so I'll just say piranhas. If you've seen the movie, you should know exactly what I'm talking about. It's not actually like piranhas, but that's just like the keyword to say what it is. Anyway, there was also a chestburster scene. I'm trying so hard not to spoil it, but I want to talk about it, because that's the scene that genuinely scared the shit out of me, because I was not expecting it. It was also followed up by a very loud, high-pitched scream, so that was fun. I really enjoyed my ability to hear up until that point. What else? The Wizards. The Withered animatronics, they show up for maybe 10 minutes in the third act of the movie, and I guess that goes to the point I've been seeing online where a lot of people are disappointed because it takes a really long time for this movie to go from anything but, like, dialogue and setting up the FNAF 2 shit to actually being FNAF 2. Like, it takes a long time to get the scene of Mike in the office where he's on the computer and the Wizards are coming after him. I will admit, I am disappointed because it took near the end of the movie to get the core FNAF gameplay in the movie. But at the same time, the stuff that happened before that, it was pretty cool. The scene of Toy Chica at the school, that whole thing. I will say the guy that she Omni-manned. There's another hint toward a kill. He was a dick, so I'm pretty sure some people in my theater even cheered and laughed when she got him. So I don't know, but what else? There was one reference, actually, technically two, to some memes. And it was so funny because that was like the one prediction I had for the movie where, oh, this happens and it makes this sound, and that exact thing happened. I was laughing hysterically at that just because of how funny it was to me personally. I saw someone online be like, this is just jangling keys in FNAF fans' faces. I think that was also part of the comparison to the Sonic movies. Look, all I'm going to say is that person probably also cheered out loud when Sonic showed up in the first Sonic movie. And I'm not trying to get into that whole debate because it's been a mess, but I don't know. I enjoyed it anyway. Anything else? There was one surprise cameo during one section of the movie. This is probably one of the biggest, like, shock value spoilers just because of how unexpected it was, and I think there was even a post saying there's a character in this movie that when fans see them, they're going to lose their minds. I should know. I'm fan. My friend is fan. When we saw that character, our jaws dropped, and it might even have implications for how FNAF 3 is going to be handled. So I'm really hoping they don't drop the ball on that because it would be such a waste to have this character show up as just like a brief little cameo. And to be fair, they're a full robot like the toys and the FNAF 1 animatronics, and they power on and they move around. So there's potential, man. I am very excited to see what they do with this. I'd hate for them to have this character just show up for like a brief little cameo in FNAF 2 and then nothing in 3 and just rot in whatever warehouse they're stored in. Speaking of the FNAF 1 animatronics, they're a part of another major issue I have with this, but it also kind of ties into the whole thing with the villain. But again, we'll get to that in the full review. That'll be full on spoilers, everything talked about. The ending, they were trying to make it this big badass moment. I'm sorry, it was just really funny. Like they were trying so hard to make it look cool, and all it did was make me not take it seriously at all. I was laughing so hard. Although the ending is actually the ending itself after the funny part, I will admit that kind of got me. I mean, I'm not like tearing up or anything, but I don't know. I think the ending was decent. Although the last shot of the movie, like how this movie ends, it is so abrupt. If you've seen my Twitter post about it, because again, Twitter, go follow me. Go follow my new Twitter account. I talked about my feelings using the one gif of Patchy from SpongeBob where he's looking at the TV. That's it. It felt so abrupt, you know, the scene happens and then boom, fade to black, Living Tombstone song plays. And I think it's already been spread around, but I'm not going to talk about it, but there is a post-credit scene, and then afterward there's an audio post-credit scene. Like how in the first movie they had the little dialogue thing like from the FNAF 2 minigames that teases, I think, the puppet. This one is more of a phone voicemail, but yeah, stay till the very end to get the full details, and I do have a theory about what happens, because, again, I don't want that cameo character to go to waste. I have such a big theory about it, and I'll talk about that in the full spoilers. The full spoiler video. What else? Okay, I talked about the toys, talked about the stuff. I guess I'll close this off with whether or not I can recommend it. FNAF fan, absolutely go see it. There's so much cool shit, and there is even there's even a reference to another non-core FNAF character, I guess. You know how in the first movie there was reference to Sparky. There's another reference like that. It's not a hoax character, I'll say that. It's, I guess, FNAF adjacent character, but that's all I can say. And that was just cool. It was a little blink and you miss it. There was another blink and you miss it cameo in The Office, which, if you've seen it, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But I guess, overall, if you're a FNAF fan and you haven't seen this movie, go watch it. I command it. It's so good. If you're a general moviegoer and you don't know anything about FNAF, if you're curious, go for it. But otherwise, I don't know. It's weird. I want this movie to do good, and it's doing good already, but at the same time, I think it falls under the trap of the first movie, where it is really just extremely for the fans and exclusively for the fans. But at the same time, FNAF fans are everywhere. There's a ton of them, so there's really nothing to worry about in terms of numbers and making money. So, yeah, I guess that's it. And again, this is the last random rambling videos for now. I may make another one soon. I don't know about for the rest of 2025. The next episode, I swear to God, I've said it like in the past 2 or 3 videos, it's gonna be a core Mr. Mania Show episode about Pikmin. I love Pikmin, I want to talk about it, but I just keep getting sidetracked because Metroid Prime 4 released. I got Kirby Air Rider surprisingly as a surprise little gift, and it blew my mind. And then FNAF 2 happened. I had to talk about that, and I do plan to do Mr. Mania Show episodes about them, and that goes to FNAF 2. I'm probably going to start talking about movies and maybe even comic books. I love video games. They make up like 90% of my being, but I don't want to limit myself to just video games as much as I love them, because realistically I could probably talk about Nintendo alone for years. But again, movies are cool. I love comic books, talk about all that stuff, but that is to say, hopefully expect some different content next year, because this year I do plan on doing Pikmin, and then maybe a video where I rank all the new 2025 games that released, you know, stuff like Donkey Kong Bonanza, Pokemon Legends, SpongeBob Titans of the Tide, Metroid Prime 4, etc., Pac-Man World 2 Repack, all of them together. And I'm gonna be honest, I think Pac-Man and SpongeBob might actually outrank Metroid Prime 4 and even Pokemon Legends ZA for me. God, I'm probably gonna get ripped to pieces over that, but we'll get there when we get there. Anyway, thank you for listening to me ramble for a little longer. I'll see you in the Pikmin video. I mean it this time. And with that, see ya!